Indeed, 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 indeed. All right, all right, all right, family. All right, all right. That there is the video Sherman Hemsley off of the Red Summer Project. Currently streaming on all digital streaming platforms. You can go and search the album The Red Summer, or if you want the physical copy, you could go over to the website right now and order your physical copy of the Red Summer at the Red Summer merch. Some people said that the video was low. I'm gonna have to check that in playback. As you may know, I have this new system that I've been trying out. I even took it off for the Bluetooth just to make sure that the sound quality was better this time around. So I'm still in the process of making sure that this sound is perfect when we do these intros. I need this sound to be knocking. I need it to be very loud and audible. All right. So without any further ado, let me go and let's go ahead and start this show, this show, and let's start this roll call. All right. So without any further ado, peace and love to the family. Welcome to another episode of Melanin Monday, episode 164, featuring your brother Red Pillar. All right. And I'm joined by my special guest, the brother Blue Pillar, in the building tonight. We will be going in. This is another prelude to our upcoming lectures. Fear of a BlackaMoor Messiah. And I also Emancipation Ain't Freedom. All right. Coming at the end of this month. Links are in the bio. So let's go ahead and start this shout out. Let's see. B Moore's in the building. Shout out to B Moore in the building. Smyrna in the building. Shout out to all of the Smyrna family. Drive safe. Minnesota in the building. All right. Dumfries, Virginia in the building. Houston in the building. I see you. All right. Bed-Stuy in the building. Philly in the building. Yeah, Philly's in the building. North Carolina's in the building. The South Bronx, Greenwood, what's popping? Louisville is in the building. Shout out to Louisville, East Land Zone, Gainesville, Michigan, Tulsa up in this beer, Triangle, Virginia, Philly, Montreal, Canada. The Bronx is here. Jamaica's here again. Pittsburgh is back. Dartmouth is here. Houston, by the way of who? XRP, baby. And at Biddy, 704 in the building. Thomasville is up. Okay. Dallas is here. Yeah, Detroit. Detroit is here. Iceland is here. Savannah's here. New Orleans, Barbados, Jamaica, Guyana. That's a whole trip right there. North Oakland, New Mexico. Shout out to New Mexico. Cape Verde. Okay, it's real spicy tonight. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Jersey, Vegas, Cape Verde, New Mexico. Okay, now. Brooklyn is up in this thing. Birmingham. So we've established that we are joined by some of the most intelligent and relevant people on this planet tonight. Salute to every single one of y'all. Welcome to another episode of Melanin Mondays. Welcome back. If this is your first time, make yourself comfortable. Get your pen and your pads. There will be some notes that you will have to take down. I highly suggest to go and look up everything that you're going to be hearing about tonight. Do your research, do your follow up, go down your rabbit hole. All right. So, without any further ado, before I talk your head off all night, I want to bring in my special guest. We don't have to wait any longer. Uh, Let me open up the gates for my brother, your brother, our brother, brother Blue Pill in the building. All right.
Peace to the God, peace, love, and light. All right.
Yes, indeed. Peace, love, and light.
Move a little bit. Get the Nasir in there. Okay.
That's right.
Hit.
Get that Nasir lined up. How did the audio sound on the intro?
Low.
It sounded low.
Absolutely. You didn't hear it on your side, on your end?
Nah, the way that I have these headphones and the sound is enhanced.
Yeah,
so
it was extremely low.
Right. We're gonna have to figure that out because it was high on the YouTube volume and it was also high on these soundboards and whatnot. But it's a learning process.
Just got to do some test runs behind the scenes, private
That's
streams,
a fact.
Figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. So before we even begin, I just with the weekend is ending and whatnot.
Strong ends, right? Don't do weekends. Yeah.
We do week strong. We do strong ends.
No. Yeah. We
end strong end just
end strong and we begin strong.
Right,
you know
right.
What I'm saying? Your cycle can only escalate if you're starting the beginning of your 7-day cycle going this way.
Right.
It's like you setting yourself up with your tongue. How you expect to get anything done? You feel me?
During your good morning,
we have to start it escalating. Right, so we can leave ourselves open to all possibilities, and then you're ending strong because that language is fit for people that only tap into the labor force, right? The people who are lending all of their sweat equity to a corporation that is juicing you and then they
Right.
give you 2 days in your weekend, right after they've milked all of your blood. Because if anybody got blood drawn, you know what I'm saying? If anybody donates blood or anything of that nature, you know what it's gonna feel like after that particular ceremony.
Oh yeah, you
You know
be
what I mean?
drained. You be tapped out.
You drained, you tapped out. So they give you 2 days to recover, so they can parasite and suck on you like a tick the next cycle.
That's
So
right.
we got to change our relationship with that experience by addressing it differently. And yeah, that
How was
particular
your strong?
vibration works for men. It was
Right.
strong.
How was your strong end?
It was strong. Like I
Talk about
said,
it.
I got an education that you couldn't pay for in Oxford, and this
Right.
education was on the restoration of culture and tradition. The fact that I attended a Eritrean slash Ethiopian wedding, right, gave me the ability, almost like how scientists might look through the Hubble telescope and they'd be like,
Mhm.
look, we can look 5 million years into the past, right, by capturing this particular light.
Right.
I was able to peer into our glorious past by participating in a marriage ceremony by some ancient cosmic people who their ritual and their ceremony and traditions have been uninterrupted, because this is the only country on the continent that technically hasn't been colonized. That's a whole nother story. We're talking about, the physical occupation. You
Right.
feel me? So you get a glimpse into how we used to do things. And the way that they do things in the Eastern world is totally different than how the sons of light or the children of the sun over here do
Do
things,
things.
being led by the tail leading the head, ass backwards, right? We're
Right.
following the Westerner and his his anglicized Christian way that he does marriages, right? And the unification, even putting the ring on the left finger, that's a Saturnian ritual, right? Of bringing you under the quote unquote the endowment of the church, right? They even marry you. They say it's between you, the church, and your wife, right?
In the state.
In the state. You bring in the state into your bedroom.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So all of these weird orientations that we have been indoctrinated with and we volunteer for to this very day. To this day.
Wait.
To this day, to this day.
To this day. Right? So with all that being said, right?
Right.
I had the ability to participate and to bear witness into a restorative ritual. I needed that for my soul. My
Right.
soul
Right.
needed that, right?
Right.
And our brother Cheyenne Moore, right, of Murakush Society, right?
Right.
Or our brother
Formerly
Mansa,
known as Cheyenne the
formerly
Liberator.
Cheyenne known as right, formerly known as Cheyenne Moore. And people will popularly know him from what? The Moors in Court,
Was in court.
right?
Right.
When this demonstration first popped off, right? The first shot that you heard in the dark, like, oh,
Right.
what the? Yeah,
Right. The first
them
court.
Moors.
The first recorded court confrontation or showdown or
Right,
demonstration that
right. That
woke a
was
lot of
able to
people up.
liberate a lot of people's consciousness just through the optics of what they bore witness to, because nobody ever saw nothing like that up until that
Right.
point, right?
Right.
Um, so yes, our brother has been a trailblazer in so many things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So many things. I think he was one of the first persons that we know that, packaged and brought status correction, you know what I'm saying, to the world in that particular format. Um, you
I don't know
know,
about one of the first, but yeah, one of the
yeah, I
first.
mean, yeah. The brother has went on to author dozens of books and texts, very studious pieces of work on the Moorish doctrine and jurisprudence and history and all of these things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he also will go down in history as a trailblazer during a time, when there's a lot of there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of, you know, shade being shown to a very historic piece of history that you cannot just put into a
Dismiss.
soundbite. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Again, you can not exclude that piece of the puzzle and still have America. It's an integral part of the story of this country, the formation of it, the reason for it, the reason why Europeans was in this region, right?
Right.
Everything leading from them up until now to this day. So,
To this day.
right,
To this
on this
day.
on this strong end, this past strong end where the auspicious date of 7/11 hit, okay, we were able to see the merger between Indus Kush
Right.
with Marrakush society being married into a Ethiopian tribe, a clan, a family. You saw the whole demonstration. You got to see how it's done.
The
You got to see
ritual.
the regalness of it, the
Right.
restoration of the entire um institution of marriage. Like marriage is goals now. Niggas like, oh, that has to be done.
Right.
You cannot talk about uplifting fallen humanity. And the iconography is Drew Ali holding the woman, right? She has to be restored to her throne. And the first thing that you have to consider doing, restoring her to her throne, is, you know what I'm saying? You make it right. You feel me?
Right.
Especially if you expect to build an empire with her. If you expect to build a dynasty, if you expect to build a kingdom, you got to put her back on her throne. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
You're, and yeah, the ability to bear witness to that, to the bricklaying of that particular foundation. I was in awe. You know what I'm saying? I was in class. I was a student of culture. The food was there, the drip, you know what I'm saying, the garments, the ornamentation was there, the decoration, the music, you know what I mean? The
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 aesthetics.
the aesthetics, but the hierarchy, right? From the babies to the elder nanas. Yo, they had cosmic drip on. Feel me?
Mhm.
The
Right.
glyphs and the drip and the jewelry. They had the orbs and the ships. And yo, the
They broke it
hairstyle.
out.
We've been doing ourselves a disservice for those of us who have not traveled and gone abroad and, came into direct contact with the information either that you teach or that you're flirting with. You know what I'm saying? Or it's something that resonates with you.
Right.
If we dare open our mouths to speak about these things, you better have pulled up on them spots and tapped in and really got a real appreciation, especially if the culture's still standing. Because other places you can only see remnants of it and you got to use your imagination.
Hmm.
They still got it intact.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Shout out to
man,
the god Mansa,
it's crazy.
aka Cheyenne. You know what I'm talking about? Salute to you and your new family. Salute to the bond that you made with that family, that royal bond. I was able
Yeah,
to witness it through pictures and video and whatnot. And
powerful,
it was powerful.
powerful. You know what I'm
Powerful.
saying?
Yeah.
It's powerful, man. And again, just the necessity of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a necessary component that's missing in our community, that's missing in society, and it don't even matter if you're gonna do it that the other way. Like if you're gonna do it the Western way, say that shit. No disrespect, but save it. It's doomed for failure. Look at the die that it has been cast with.
Right.
Shit ain't going nowhere. You better burn them documents. You know what I'm saying? To free your soul. That's a soul tie that you have entered in with the state, my nigga. A de facto situation at that. Like, what does that say about the institution of your marriage? But
So
let,
would
let
you
me let
say,
me let me nah let,
yeah,
again let me hold on. I'm reaching. You know what I mean? I'm
Trying
being
to
a
bring
little
you back.
over passionate because, you know, people have joined in union, and, you know, it's certain matters of the heart that override any sense of paperwork or, you know, paper bondage or sorcery that these people play. I'm just saying the ceremony and the ritual, it's not really what it doesn't really, it's not going to cater, or I doubt that it has catered to the real soul essence of who you are. You can do you can do it again.
That's what I was about to bring up before you
What's them joints called?
renewal of a vow.
Yeah, you can renew your vows and do it differently. You did it the Western way, go do it the Eastern way. You know what I'm saying? And really, you know, wake your ancestors up. You know what I mean? And do that thing the right way. But the thing that's missing is you got to have a culture or a tradition. You know what I mean? So the juxtaposition of that is like, what does the quote unquote Black American cultural wedding supposed to look like? The electric slide, nigga.
Well, first somebody would be like, "Damn, what movie did they show it in?" Uh, you know, niggas
Yeah.
love coming to America. You could just do it the
But
Zamunda way,
they
huh?
never had a Zamunda themed wedding. Did I never get an invite?
Nope.
I never seen it on my timeline.
It was a Zamunda reception. They didn't get to the marriage yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a fire breathers. Yeah. Aladdin, you know what I'm saying? You know, I had my Aladdin, you know. I brought my Aladdin drip out.
You brought your Iron Sheik out.
Yeah. Yeah, Bella put us on to Aladdin. The live
The
version with
live
Will
one, right?
Smith. She's
Who
like, yeah.
who you
It's
was able
lit.
to call? Uber carpet. You ordered. What was you? Or you was able to order Uber carpet.
That's
The
a
top
fact.
carpet being the Taj Mahal
Yeah.
carpet.
Yeah. Top carpet. Yeah.
Yeah.
5-star service. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, lift carpet. Carpet lift.
Oh, carpet lift. Niggas got a carpet lift. Nah, that's what's
Nah,
up.
yeah, it was beautiful, man. Them are some beautiful people. You looking at the walls, bro.
I've
You know
said
what I'm
that
saying?
before. I've said
And
that
like I
before.
said, this is in this Kush. So this is where all roads meet. You see where the Indians got it, you see where the Arabs got it, you see where the Jews got it, and you damn sure know where the Christians got it. All of that is in them folks, right?
Right.
And they got the Kemetic phenotypes. All of that is in them people. The ancient stock,
Right.
right? And I don't want to start no trouble, but they don't have the what you would consider, again, the typical Africanoid features, the Negroid features that somebody be like, if you don't got a flat nose, a wide flat nose, you ain't African. My goddamn professor had the nerve to open his face and say something like that to me before, right?
Facts.
So, you know what I mean? It's a history that's worth exploring. I'm gonna take a trip. I'm pulling up. You know what I'm saying? That region has always caught me. I had plans last year to go there. I wanted to do 3 months.
Where in Ethiopia?
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to do it in the countryside too.
That's what's up.
Right? I had, and it didn't start with a gift that was given to me, but Samaj gifted me with the Lala Bella ring. It's a cross, right?
Right.
It's a
I
it's a
remember
it's a
that.
replica of the cross, and I was utilizing it for my Christ consciousness, right, video and everything. And then I just I always been magnetized to that particular history, that image, or what they said, you know, built it out. They said angels
Right.
built it overnight, right? And again,
Right.
who am I to tell them any different? Because y'all know better, right? Because you know that them people is making that up, well, that's part of their folklore. But again, you can't explain how it can possibly be done. You can't produce any of the technology or the tools. Same way that you can't explain a plethora of monoliths and
Megalith.
you know what I'm saying, and megalithic structures all around this planet, right? And they show that in the lost history of flat Earth. That's the only thing that I'm going to acknowledge about that documentary and give it props for, is that they pointed out all that Moorish architecture and left you with an open-ended question. That's all they did.
Right, right. I didn't check that out yet. But what I did check out this weekend was the incomparable, Dick Gregory and his
Talk about it.
documentary that came out on Hulu, right? And first and foremost, for any of my KTL radio alumni from the Blog Talk days, and you were privy to one of the 4 or 5 Dick Gregory interviews that we did in, I believe, 2013, 14. He did the State of the Black Union 2 years in a row for KTL.
Yes, he
And
did. Yeah.
it was powerful. Now, I thought that I knew everything about Baba Dick Gregory, and I actually was one of the interviewers, for Baba for a few years, right? And I thought that I knew it. I thought I knew it all. And the documentary only proved that I knew a small percentage of his journey. I wasn't. They put it together in a way, and they established a narrative about how committed this man was, and they put into context the sacrifice that he made for you conscious niggas, right? For the quote unquote community, right? When the community that he sacrificed for was a community that almost ceased to exist, and then another community was born out of the ashes of that, and then a whole other community was born out of the ashes of that, and still was able to accept Baba Dick Gregory in his twilight years, and elevate him to a level of social media slash woke slash conscious community, online conscious community slash age of Aquarian type of fame. Same
Yes,
thing they did to Dr. Sabi,
yes.
right?
The elder who we identified the Book of Negroes because he was heavily steeped in all things Piscean. He's seen it all, right? The 1900s in this country was the most pivotal 100 years on the planet.
Right.
And melanated people, what we got done and complete in 100 years compressed is incomparable maybe to 5,000 years of history of melanated people on this planet. When you think about all of the genius, all of the milestones, right? All of the breakthroughs that we were able to achieve under threat, duress, and coercion, threat of murder, and all that other things, right?
Right.
Fear campaigns, unprecedented, like real threat of the loss of your life. These people really
Right.
shook off fear and rose to the occasion. Dick Gregory had one foot in Piscean, but was able to plant some toes down in Aquarium before he checked out of here. He was the bell ringer on Breakfast Club for what became the ripple waves that ended up becoming wokeness.
Right.
Feel me?
Oh, most definitely. Just on the heels of seeing the other documentary about the concert that took place in the summer of '69 in Mount Morris Park, which is now known as Marcus Garvey Park, right there in
Right.
Harlem, a 6-week musical concert, a free outdoor concert that spanned 6 weeks' times. That was backed by the mayor, Mayor Lindsay, the same mayor who signed a 99-year lease for the Nation of Gods and Earth, right there on
Did.
Adam Clayton and 126th Street for $1, I believe, $1 rent for 99 years or something like that. Right? This same mayor was able to back a free concert the same year that Woodstock was taking place in in upstate New York. And this concert that took place in Harlem that featured mostly gospel, soul, and blues singers of the times. And they were spitting straight revolutionary, and they were spitting straight what would be considered conscious vibes back in those days, roots and culture. You had Nina Simone telling the people to basically get ready to spill blood of the opposite quote unquote race, while their race soldiers were standing right there. She was fearless. You had Stevie Wonder, you know, going in and feeling the energy of the people and showing how much of a prodigy he was. You had Mahalia, right? You had the gospel singers. I'm talking about it made the hairs on my arm stand up. We were able to see the context of what Jesse Jackson meant in his blossoming and how he was able to push himself into the front, you know, into the limelight. But he was using that, he was going through music to do that. He was utilizing the gospel to do that, to penetrate, to get in, and to gain the people's trust and whatnot. Right? All of this was very glaring and apparent, and it really gave me Summer of Soul is the
Look,
name of the documentary.
it took place on the same day that they went
That
to the
they went to
moon.
the moon, right?
Put that into context.
Put that into context. The same day that they went to the moon is one of the days that this concert was taking place. They went there and somebody said, "Wait, Jesse, he was a deceiver." I'm explaining that the way that he was able to gain the respect
The respect. It was on the
and able
heels
to gain
of
the
he
trust,
was 1 year removed from
Dr.
MLK getting
King.
assassinated on 4
Right,
4 68. So he was riding the wave of that. You know what
right,
I'm saying? He was
right.
riding the
He was
sympathy
able
wave
to,
of that to
right.
penetrate, yeah, in the rock to cull and lull people to sleep. Like
That's
how
a
they do
fact.
in the day. That's what he did back then. Yeah.
That's a fact. He was able to utilize the trauma of being present when that man lost his life to gain the ears and the hearts and the minds of the people, right? And they settled down, you know? It's important that you tap in because you will realize one or two things. One, the artists of today who give you a fake woke hook or pretend to be woke because they sleep with white people openly, or they I'm woke, I love everybody, I'll give everybody entry into my private life, and all of this stuff, all of this window dressing, all of this quote unquote capping that you see take place, and people marching, and I mean all of these empty gestures and whatnot. And then when you look back to see what the real when artists were really inspired, what they were able to do, when artists really had love for their people, what they were able to sacrifice, what artists were really up against when they decided that they were going to make anthems for our people to stand up, and what it meant back then, not what it means today after it's all said and done, and you're still you're measuring what did Marvin Gaye's impact have on the black people. He wasn't going that hard when he said what's going on, or when Sam Cooke was saying a change gonna come, it wasn't all that. No, my nigga, when he was saying a change is gonna come, in the time that he was saying a change is gonna come, that meant more than what we could find most of these artists or collect. I mean, put them on together. You could put a whole playlist together, and the music that's being made right now is not reflecting the time. The artists are failing the people on a large scale. We have not even arrived. If the music is supposed to lead the revolution, if that's going to be the soundtrack, we didn't even make it there yet. There's no identifiable musicians that we could point out and say these people they changed their whole trajectory. They pivoted and now they're over here. There's a lot of artists that we could see and we're like, yo, they're capping. That shit is not real that they're trying to be on. We we don't buy into the woke shit that they're trying to be on. We're not buying into that. There are artists that pivoted completely and they went from being pop and they took that shit completely to a woke direction, and then they broke it into and then they broke off into consciousness where they were able to wake up out of the woke shit and be like, nah, I'm fully committed. I'm 10 toes down. You know? And then when I saw Dick Gregory's, his sacrifice because of the bond that he made with Megger Evans, right? He was able to go to Mississippi. He went to Mississippi and it opened up his eyes to what our people were up against, because he was able to look at terrorism right in the fangs. He was able to stare a gift horse in the mouth, and then he linked up with a real one before he was assassinated, Mega Evans. And that completely changed his trajectory, to whereas he was like, I'm not comfortable with what you may identify as success. I have purpose now. And now my purpose is so far away from where you guys may think that I am. I'm now on a new journey. He symbolized that journey in so many ways, Blue. His journey was one to basically look at in awe for those of us who know what taking the red pill feels like, meaning that moment where you wake up and you realize everything that you were basically living was just leading up for this moment right here to prepare you for this new journey that you're on. And when I'm talking about a journey, my people, I'm talking about a marathon. I'm talking about the fact that you have realized that you're going to be on this marathon or this hero's journey or this path of enlightenment your whole fucking life. Pardon my French. You're gonna be on this road your whole life because you know what you're up against, and you know that you sacrifice, you know you spent 30 to 40 to 50 years on another path just to get where you are right here. And then you find purpose. And what is purpose for him? Purpose was our people need to be freed of many different programs that they were currently under by any means necessary to this day.
To this day. To this day.
It started with what was considered to be racism or bigotry. It evolved into our health, right? He was able to call out and he was able to champion melanin carbonated people's what they were eating.
Yeah.
Huh?
He could be accredited with being the forebearer in the melanated community, you know, for I wouldn't say veganism,
Right.
right? But borderline
Healthy. Well,
vegetarianism, eating healthy,
right.
you know, health is wealth,
Right.
green
Because look,
revolution, you know,
factory in a day and age where intermittent fasting, you
intermittent
know,
fasting, yes.
right. We come off of the Atkins diet. We attribute a lot of things to like the yogis or to the Eastern Indian. And of course, Europeans have hijacked the healthy lifestyle paradigm where being a vegan or a vegetarian has been completely cannibalized, by them through marketing, right? He was the face of veganism. He was the face of fasting. He was the face of running, right?
He
Cardio.
was the melanated Forrest Gump.
He was the melanated Forrest Gump
Or
before Bubba
Forrest Gump
Shrimp.
was a knockoff of him, should we
That's a
say.
factory.
Because
All of
he
that
was
running,
everywhere. You was never there, right? Like
right,
Forrest Gump was in all them scenes. He was the Book of Negroes. He
right,
had his hand in everything. He was the first one to open up comedy as a circuit, right? Playing big stages, right? In front of white audiences. He was the first one to do that.
right.
And he got in with political satire. He didn't get in there shucking jiving. He was the first
Buckmaster.
one to get in there busting his gun unapologetically and show people that the European loves to get spanked, right?
Right,
That's part of one of his fetishes.
right.
So
They like to get whooped.
they like to get whooped.
They like
Comedy
to
ain't
be
no
embarrassed.
different,
Right,
right? They was loving the fact that he was spanking them in their
right,
house in front of their whiz and all of that. Pause.
right.
So he started touching the bag. He was the first one to accumulate the bag,
Get
right?
the Baggington.
Uncompromisingly, unapologetically,
Right.
right?
He was
Doing
the
as
first fire.
is. They was paying him to keep it real,
Facts.
right? He just kept it. He just,
Kept it
done,
respectful.
yeah. No, I
he
mean,
had a
no, I'm just
style.
saying he ended up keeping it stupid real, you know.
Oh, he kept it too real.
Yeah. You know,
It's
they'll
like
throw him on, yeah. Chappelle show would throw him on the episode of when you're keeping it real goes.
keeping it real goes wrong. Keeping it real goes real.
Yeah, because you know, he in this system, the modern day system, like how they was saying about Chappelle. Oh, Chappelle, you burnt a $500 million bag. You know what I'm saying? Some people respected it, some people called him crazy. It was the same thing with Chappelle. He was the forebearer to that. He burnt the
Right.
bag. Some people called him crazy. Some people called him respectable. Some people like, I can't respect that.
Right. Right.
You
Like
feel me?
we used to seeing
Hold on. Let me let me
old.
let me finish
Oh, go
cooking.
ahead.
Right. So he was the first one to be utilized. MLK used him as a gun, right?
As a hitter.
As a hitter. He was the shooter for MLK. So
Right.
before MLK would touch down in the South, he would send Dick Gregory to stir the pot,
Right.
right? He would send him to create controversy at a particular location, a space, a state, a venue,
Look.
so they can get the free press, right? Because the
Right.
follow-up would be like, yo, my man is coming for part two. Oh, word. And then they going to see whatever they going to see. He's
And that's Martin
insulated
coming.
because they know, because of the level of celebrity that he represented at the time, anywhere
Right.
that he went, cameras will follow,
Cameras will
right?
follow.
So the civil rights movement utilized this medium. They manipulated this medium called
Right.
TV, right? To charge America on an international stage with hypocrisy, because this is the time that the U.S. was pushing democracy down people's throat. They'll come to your country and turn it into a parking lot,
Right.
right? To install democracy there. When the international community started seeing, you know, officers sicking dogs on melanated people in water hoses, right? You can do a lot of stuff to people in darkness, but when you put it in the light, and you have someone who's eloquent enough like MLK to point out the hypocrisy of that, that
Right.
was embarrassing to the hegemony, right? The empire, where they had to take a few steps back. So now you're getting invites, right, from the president to come to the White House. We need to talk about this. And then MLK was able to what? He was able to finesse that into legislation, into policy changes. But of
Right.
course, they're finessing him at the same time, unbeknownst to him. But still, you got to come to the table to play chess. You feel me? And these strategies were able to get people to the table. Again, if you're somebody who speaks crazy about civil rights, nigga, I hope you don't live in Atlanta. I hope you don't live in the South. You feel me?
Right.
And you need to crawl back underneath a rock because you are benefiting from the privilege of the strategic sacrifice that they made.
Right.
Right? And it was strategic. They didn't do it because they were soft. They was far from soft. You feel me? Those was men. Their strategy just orientated them to do something different because of their indoctrination, right? Or their orientation, which was Christianity. That's the
Fact.
only difference, right? But I would ask, where has your bloodletting got you? What is the flip side? Because a lot of people are critical of their strategies, but I'm like, all right, what cantaloupe did you split? Got you anything today? You feel me? Where's it at? I don't see no stains. I ain't hear no history of you putting a scratch on your opponent. To
Right.
this day.
Like what the any of the bloodletting or the any of the bodies that y'all drop, did that get you any power? They just shot a brother 64 times outside of the police, outside of the Cook County Jail in Chicago, right? They just shot a brother on live, right? 16 times for defacing Nipsey Hussle's mural. Where has any of the drills put niggas in a power position? I would love to know this. Has any of the drills, because a lot of bodies getting dropped all over. I mean, I'm talking about they they turn. I mean, I just found out. I just saw a Glock switch in action. You know what I'm talking about? They out here letting that thing go. So let me know what body did the black man drop to put him in a position of more power.
Yeah. What
Because
was
the
the
Europeans,
Powerball? Right. Yeah. What was the
yeah,
Powerball? Which one?
they it seems that the bodies that they drop, it puts them in a position of further power.
Yeah. They taking out heads of states. They got
They
strategic
taking out
hits.
heads of states.
They'll knock the whole country over, right?
Fact,
By hitting the right head. Right.
you
So
know.
there's no aim. There's no focus. You feel me? There's no aim. There's no focus. You just shooting your load, right? Pun intended. So
Not only are you shooting your low, hold on. You're doing the opposite of making yourself more powerful. You're out here knocking off messiahs, black messiahs. You're making yourself weaker. So the more bodies that drop in the hood, the weaker that the hood gets, the weaker that the trenches get, the weaker that the streets get. Because potentially, I mean, think about it. You could weigh out what a messiah is or a messianic force is by just saying, well, shit, this is how you are able to measure it out. What if Nipsey was still alive? If you want
how
to talk
different?
about what if
How
Nipsey was still
different would
here?
the world be? How
What
different
would the
would the
world be?
game be? How
What
different would LA look like? Right. So
right?
you gauge it by, how what does their absence feel like? What sort of
What
gap
what
did
sort of
they
gap is
leave
left in their
in the
absence?
evolution of the
Right,
species?
right.
Because
There's a way to measure it.
there's evidence to show that the evolution of the species took a hit because millions of more of us would be on crypto. There would be so many smart stores. Technology would be, nigga, you be in Wakanda right now.
He would
You
have
feel me?
At this point, he would have franchised some of these smart stores because
At this
at this
point,
point, niggas have not got that off the ground, and he's been going for two and a
they
half.
they would have been on the Mama Pill documentary because the Sabi doc would have been out. And niggas would be like, yo, we need that Mama
Yeah, they
Pill
would have spun that
documentary.
off. Yeah,
Right?
we
Yeah,
need to
they'd
pull
had
it
the
back.
spun on Black Panther 3. So
Right.
yeah, like
They would have onboarded.
there
He
are
would
identifiable gaps in the historical record that are missing because these individuals are no longer here. Now, there's
what
mad
would the
niggas that are
conversation
walking
be?
around today. Hold on, if they checked up out of here tomorrow, it wouldn't really make a difference. No disrespect to
Right.
them.
Where would have been if Pop Smoke was still here? Like we could just keep it hypothetical. Like where would New York be as a, you know what I mean? Where would we be at if Kobe was still here?
Right.
Where would we be if Biggie was alive and Tupac was able to survive the shot? What would happen if we were able to manipulate the situations that happened to them? Because watching movies like the Tomorrow's War and whatnot, they got my mind, my gear spinning. So what if we have an intergalactical space travel agency where we could go back and save the lives of the messianic ones who are out here getting Peter rolled? You know what I mean?
Facts.
Because we realize what their laws have done to the quote unquote evolution of a people who need to go from being quote unquote on their bellies to standing up. And sometimes they need their quote unquote messianic forces or their thought leaders or the ones who they're living vicariously through. They need them to evolve and to change and to
And
upgrade.
yeah, and I want to say something too. Like there was an issue, this past strong, and I really realized that people don't have the capacity to understand the telling of history, right? Without feeling that they have some sort of the only way that they can gauge that you can teach is if you're advocating something.
Right.
And I'm like, that's not the job of a teacher. That's the job of an acolyte. That's the job of somebody who's championing a particular cause. But a teacher's supposed to be neutral, and I'm just teaching the history. And I'm also engaging in hypotheticals because you can utilize your imagination to come to your own conclusions. So even if I say, yo, you can't be dismissive of the results that civil rights has particular rendered you, especially if you are benefiting from any of the quote unquote privileges the melanated people enjoy in this country, nigga, if you ever flew into Atlanta airport, you need to shut your mouth. Because that was Maynard Jackson, that was Andrew Young, that was all of the people after civil rights utilizing politics to make Atlanta the crown jewel of the South. You feel me?
Right.
And hence, quote unquote, the Mecca, right, is what is identified or called to today. That's a direct correlation to what them brothers were able to ascertain from whatever sacrifices they made in civil rights, right? And hence it terraformed the rest of what we call Black America today.
Right.
No other progression can we look at and attribute to any other mass movement. We can't say that. We can say that there's different speckles, you know what I'm saying, here and there, but they have not made a societal effect, right? A socio-economical, political effect, even if you got feelings about integration. You got opportunities to leave and move, and you still are looking for ways to go along and get along, right? So it's not an endorsement. I'm just saying, look at it for what it is, right? And take your emotions out of it and be like, yo, them brothers executed a particular strategy, and here you still blaming King 55 plus years for saying you in a burning house, nigga. You're sitting in a burning house still?
Right.
What are you still doing in a fucking burning house?
Can't blame him for that.
You ain't put the fire out or remove yourself from the house. You could still blame a man who been dead over 55 years for being in a fucking burning house?
Yeah, he ain't do that to you.
To this day. To this day.
That shit is whack. You sound weak. Right? Put some respect on their name and leave them alone, bro.
Yeah, let them.
They executed a strategy. You don't got to be under the yoke of the results of that strategy, right?
Right.
Develop your own at this point. It's been long enough.
Right.
Niggas attribute it to King, but won't attribute it to fucking to Freeway Ricky with crack cocaine.
Right. Y'all blame Martin Luther King, but don't got shit to say about homie from Snowfall, Franklin, who's Freeway Ricky Ross. Y'all don't got no smoke for Nicky Barnes. Y'all don't have nothing to say about these niggas. But
Frank Lucas.
MLK did you dirty.
Right? Adam Clayton sold you out, but not Frank Lucas.
Right.
Right? Charlie Rango sold out Harlem, but not Frank Lucas.
Right. Charlie. No, Charlie did sell it out.
I mean, yeah, Charlie did sell it out. But I'm saying, you got to weigh and gauge the level of the sellout for that matter. Did he create zombies out of the residents of Harlem? Or did he be like, yo, because y'all are zombied out, I'm gonna sell Harlem from underneath you, right? Because you're useless eaters at this point. We can't even rehab you,
right?
He didn't force people to sell their brownstones for $1, and he didn't force people not to buy brownstones back for $1.
Right.
That's something that the hustlers, if they were thinking like businessmen, you could have came back. Those are trap houses that are $1 million plus brownstones right now.
They took the bando.
Niggas desecrated that.
Yeah.
Right? To get sneaker money and Benz money and Lord and trick money. They did that.
And Dapper Dan money.
They ate off of carcasses.
Right. That whole brownstone was a Dapper Dan suit.
Son just came and said it's bigger than Nino Brown. Shit. Let me get my bread.
Fact.
Everybody else is getting it. So the community becomes a carcass. And people is just feeding and feasting off of it. You feel me?
Right.
To this day.
To this day. You know what I mean? It hasn't really changed.
The ability to look at it, the good, bad, the ugly, and the different. So there was this whole controversy that popped up on my page where these young women were saying, because we were telling the story of the Moors of 7-Eleven, somehow we were glamorizing it. And I said, we have always used Moors in antiquity as a cautionary tale, right? We, unlike anybody else that I have seen, have always told the good, bad, and the ugly and indifferent aspects of this history. And there's certain parts that cannot be glorified. And you always speak about the fact that they came there without their wives. And the amalgamation campaign that took place ultimately was the downfall, right?
Facts.
But you niggas is waiting for, what is it, Real Lover Boy, right? Y'all
Champagne
waiting for the
Popper.
next Drake album, right? And history repeats itself. So if the amalgamation was the downfall of the empire, then, right?
Right.
Let me not even engage that, because that's a whole nother controversy that people is having. And we know that all light-skinned people is not sellouts, right? We know that there's some very melanated people that are selling out right now.
Of course.
Heavily melanated people, right? Who's Europeans and blackface. So, you know what I mean? It's not as just as simple as that. But yeah, there's much to be discussed. It's a history lesson. It's not a glorification of it, right? But you cannot move forward without knowing that piece. That piece is a big gulf that's missing. And there's so many questions that arise when that you take that piece out. You
Right.
can't figure nothing out. You can't navigate. You can't navigate history without that piece, right? So you have to get out of your emotions in order to learn what happened and where you are currently at, so you can plot a course to get to where you need to go.
That's a fact. You know what I'm talking about? History is to be given, you know, on a cold ass plate sometimes. When people hear history, they get triggered based off of what they think they know about this history. And I would highly suggest that individuals do a little more studying,
I
you
mean,
know.
again, but for me, it was the perfect segue because it led into what I experienced this strong in with the marriage and the wedding, and that is the fact that melanated Moorish black women in this country, yeah, they're hurt. The relationship between their men is very much fractured. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they were triggered by the picture, because the picture was of the Moorish general with the white concubine, and that shit just triggered
Right.
them. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
understandable. It's
Yeah,
understandable.
but they were emoting in a way in which it was like, I ain't never said that there was a glorification taking place. I'm just telling a history lesson. And I said, look, if we understand that this was taking place, I'm telling you that their children and their sons never forgot. So people always be asking the question, why do these white folks on our helmet like this? Pause. But you will never want the answer. You just want to ask the question, because, you know, that shit has a certain social currency to it as well. If you just keep asking questions and never get an answer.
Right.
And I'm like, do you want to know the answer? You just want to ask questions, right?
Right. Right.
And there's a segment of society, unfortunately, and I'm not just saying it's only the women, but you can't even give them no answers. They just want to ask the questions. And they want to do it in a way in which is confrontational and all of this other stuff. And I'm like, yo, chill, right? The energy is
Well, I
off.
mean, there's Mobites to teach the history. You know what I mean? Like Yafa Bay,
You got to
Sister Rock.
direct them then, because a lot of
Now
people
I
don't know
know
how to
that.
find
What
that
I'm
in
saying
in,
is,
in, in the social space.
yeah, what I'm saying is, instead of getting caught up as a teacher, you just gotta teach your lesson. um if you choose to engage with your audience and your students, then you do that with the knowing that there's going to be questions that need answering, and you always approach it from the standpoint of a professor. If you're telling a history lesson, you're teaching it from the perspective of a teacher. We've been in colleges before, and sometimes students have open debates with their professors because they want to challenge the information that's being shared with them. And that's all good, bro. I mean, it's welcomed and whatnot, and it's expected. As long as there's respect, you have to treat us with the same type of respect that you were treating your high school teachers, your college teachers, and other professors. Because truthfully, that's what we're doing. We're giving you the information, and we're also giving you the source as well. We're telling you where to go and do your research. We'll give you a book list. We'll point you to different teachers. We'll show you we'll give you the sources if that's what you're into. If people don't want to research, and they don't want sources, they just want to emote, then that's not a student. And you have to be able to
Identify,
differentiate,
right?
identify said said persons and whatnot. You feel me? So, yeah. I mean, I did learn from my father. I learned from also Dr. Sabi. I watched him. I was taking notes as a 10-year-old. He used to be confronted a lot in his lectures because to tell people some of the things that he was telling them, and it wasn't a Google or a Siri, and it
Oh yeah,
wasn't people that you could slide into their
yeah.
inbox to say how you
They
feel
was
about.
triggered. I remember that.
There was a lot of people they got triggered on the spot, and
They used to
he had to
pop up.
deal with the
Remember that? Yo,
triggering. Right. The parasites was acting up
they was
when he
popping
was
them
saying
up.
certain things. I seen the parasites inside of people get triggered. And then sometimes it even got so much that it spilled over to where his apprentices or the goddesses or the queens that were in the building, sometimes they had to intervene. And then I remember them dealing with women, right? Not men. I remember the men dealing with the men to the point that it had even got physical in St. Croix. The shit popped off. And it was the men that had to hold it down. I remember seeing a machete, and there was some violence that took place because a man got out of line and whatnot. And he was very disruptive. And I've also seen situations where the women wanted to be very argumentative and whatnot, and sisters stepped in and they handled it, and it never got out of line. Right. And it is what it is. It comes with the territory. You know what I'm talking about? It comes with the territory, you know. So with that being said, you know, I think that we should I have people that were asking if we can open up the communications and whatnot. I think some people wanted to come in and share and whatnot. I'm gonna touch on like two topics and then we'll do that,
Hmm.
right? A follow-up on the situation in Haiti. They were able to it's a lot of stuff going on over there. I can't, stand on what the report is 100%. The assailants that they said that they found, I don't have 100% proof that those were the people who were responsible. They were Colombians and whatnot. And then there's two melanated Americans. And then they also charged somebody from Miami, a doctor of Haitian descent. But it just feels funny to me. It doesn't feel real,
Hmm.
you know. It doesn't feel real. So, you know, we're just gonna see things unfold. You know what I mean? I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna see things unfold. I'm gonna still do my digging and whatnot. But
Right.
very fishy. I watched a Vice documentary about a man named Barbecue and a gang out there called G9, which is a conglomeration of different gangs who were politically protected by the administration of the president who was assassinated, President Moise. You know what I mean? And they were out there. They committed about 4 to 5 massacres already in different provinces. They've been burning people alive. That's where he got his name Barbecue from, for the fact that he'll take you out of your home and put them tires around you and burn you alive. So, there's been a lot of the violence has been heightened out there. There's gangs that have been kidnapping a lot of people. The political violence was at its heights, even with the president alive. So, it's a lot of karmatic energy I feel on that ground right now. A lot of karmatic energy, you know. And it's like when somebody has a lot of fires burning and they get knocked off, it's the perfect coy. Think about it. When JFK had drama with the mafia, with the union workers, you know what I mean? He had a lot of
Hmm.
haters out there,
Cubans, right?
Cubans. Then when they knocked him off, they were able to do the Spider-Man meme and whatnot and point mad fingers in the same direction. You know, the same thing with this president. He had a lot of opposition. He had a lot of ops. He had political, what you call it? He had political opponents, and they
Hmm.
was on his tail. There's a European is on the island of Haiti who's affiliated in a way with the Bill Clinton Foundation. He was one of his stronger opponents. There's another businessman who was an opponent to the president. Come to find out that one of the bodyguards that got arrested, who's of American descent or a USA citizen, he was hired to work for one of his political, you know, opponents. So you feel me? You see all of the little things that are going on and whatnot.
It's a murder mystery. Yeah.
It's a murder mystery, and they're able to
Who
do
done it?
things
Right.
like that. It's a who done it, and they're able to pull shit like that when you have a lot of fires burning, when you have a lot of drama out there, when you have a lot of
Yeah,
ops.
it's a scramble. You
It's
know,
a scramble,
you pointing over here, you putting resources over there, and they
right?
moving over here. You know what I'm
And they're
saying?
moving over there,
So who's securing the resources? You feel me?
right, right,
They
right,
sending the vaccine. They sending the military. You feel me? So
right. Nah, they
you
said
know,
that they was gonna withhold the military. They were gonna send the FBI and somebody from the State Department in
oh
before they put
CIA.
boots on the
Right.
ground. Right. So that means that they'll send the CIA in there. They have to they have to assess the quote unquote whoever their man is. Let me translate it for you. We gotta make sure whoever our man is, he's gonna be able to sit into power in the seat of power. And whatever we have to do to make sure that that happens, we're gonna do it. That's what they mean.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have to have their man, whoever their man is, because they have triple agents out there sometimes. But whoever their man is, right, they're gonna have to make sure that that person's installed. You feel me? The wife, what happened to the wife? The wife is speaking out. The wife is blaming political opponents. The wife is recovering in Florida, I believe. I believe she's recovering in Miami, but she's already made a statement about the fact that her husband was set up, she said, by some powerful forces that were his political opponents,
Right.
you know. So we're gonna do more research on that, and we'll be able to we'll be able to talk about. I'm gonna talk about it in my lecture, and one of the lectures that are coming up that me and Blue is gonna be doing at the end of the month. We'll be able to dive deeper into it, you know what I mean, and do a more deeper dive versus what we're able to do on YouTube because of the quote unquote censorship. But people be talking about censorship on YouTube, and the shit I seen this weekend on YouTube is showing me that it's selective censorship because they got people on YouTube saying the most heinous shit to the other black men, and nobody is being flagged. No, there's no strikes, there's no YouTube banning. You know what I mean? Like they let what they want to let fly.
Mm-hmm.
What they want to let fly. And it seems that those of us who are political minded or speaking against the powers that be, we're getting penalized. But it could be black on black, it could be knuckle dragger on knuckle dragger. You know what I mean? And they'll turn a blind eye to it. I saw on Twitter both. I didn't see the execution in front of the police station in Chicago, but I damn sure saw the dude, little what is his name, little Indian boy, getting sprayed up, right? Right there on live. I saw that on Twitter. I was able to see that on I saw that on Twitter, and I saw that on what you call it on Instagram, right? So this took place in Chicago. Local rapper who has just been released from Cook County Jail suffered as many as 64 bullet wounds and fatal shooting across the street from jail, right?
Different. Yeah.
Huh?
They different.
They different, right? So they take this shit for real. Okay. They shot. He had a 60-year-old woman that came and scooped him up. She got hit too. You know, I'm not gonna say who he had beef with. That's not, that's not for, if I know, then everybody else who's out there doing the pet detective work, they know. So I don't have to say it. But he got drama with one of the Chicago rappers and whatnot. And they said that him and his brother was laying shit down, over the years, and he was hated. He was an op, and his time ran up. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But what I'm gonna about to do though is I'm about to open up for some of our callers. I'm gonna allow a conversation to take place between us and the fam that's out there. Um, yeah. So what I'll be doing is I'll send you the link if you drop your email in the chat, and we're gonna send the link, and then we'll let you come through and we'll chop it up. But what I don't want is we're not having a long drawn conversations. Pull up if you have a question, ask it, and we'll be able to answer it. If we're not able to answer it, we'll be able to send you somewhere where you could receive your answer, or we'll just get back to you. You smell me? But we're gonna take about 10 questions. We ain't gonna be able to do everything tonight, but we'll take about 10 questions. Um, but before I do that, Blue, do you have any commentary that you wanted to share?
Now we good. Go to the callers.
All right, callers, if you want to come through live, you feel me? Drop your email, and I will send you the link, and you'll be able to pull up. Make sure you have a camera and a audible mic. How could you get off 64 bullets? Them fucking glizzies with the switch. That's how. Shoot, I'm talking about. Them glizzies with the switch, fully automatic. They said 3 people came out busting at him with the glizzies, with the switch. You know? It's real in these streets. Summer's hot. Switches are all around Florida too. Yeah. They all up and down Chicago. They in Atlanta. Rumor has it they in New York. You know? Lay low. You know what I'm talking about? Lay low. And stay out of the people, stay out of the pettiness, stay out of the petty beefs. Yeah, Red Summy, my baby. Yeah, Red Summy all day. Stay out of the stay out the way. Stay out the way. These niggas got these shots. They trying to open up the compartment doors on planes. They going on zombie mode. I think that song is triggering them. You know?
What song?
I don't need nobody. I only want your body. I
You
don't
don't
need
need no
nobody.
other body.
I don't need no other body. I think that's a trigger.
Yeah, the essence.
Niggas,
That
niggas
shit
hear
getting
that.
into the essence, yo.
That shit is attached to the 5G. I don't need no other body. Niggas like, open the light, open the emergency door.
Open
Like,
the hatch.
open the hatch. Like,
I just heard
relax.
my song. It's down there. Open the hatch. Like, shit, nigga. You gonna jump?
Like, what we about to do? What we about to do? What we about to do? This is not Jackass the movie. Niggas are trying to fucking air glide into their destinations. Fuck out of here. Nah, but I like that song. Afro Beats is back. Shout out to all of my African brethren.
Nah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm booked. Yeah, send it. Yeah, bust that
That's a universal language.
Straight up.
They had the nanas and all of that. The people that was resistant, look, they had put the Eritrean Ethiopian music on. That had a
Right.
segment of the party going. Then
Right.
they threw Frankie Beverly in on. That had a smaller segment of the party going.
Right. Those are
But
the
when they
anal.
threw that Afro beat on,
Right.
the nanas that had got up for nothing,
Right. They got into it. They was on that.
they got on that flow. The
Holy
youngins,
waka.
everybody. This shit is a universal
Holy
language, bro.
waka. That's right.
Oh, busy body, busy tonight. Yeah. Need to get a remix. Get one of them niggas on the hook. Yeah.
Somebody said, have y'all seen Forever Purge?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, y'all wild shy. Nobody want to send their email. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, I seen that. It was politicized. It was all right. You know what I mean? And what have we always said about the wall? You know what I'm saying? What have we
Just to
always
keep
said?
people in.
To keep people in so they can purge. So that's what they played out in the movie. It was a
Oh,
forever
wow.
purge. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
they had to get across the wall. They had to go to Mexico, right? Yeah, yeah. I want to know how. I want to know the people with the administration over there in Mexico.
Like, hold up, now y'all expect us to carry y'all over the border?
Yeah, niggas like, wait a minute. Yeah,
Right.
I got this shit fucked up. I did all that for this.
Right.
All that,
Right.
right? We the saviors?
Oh, hell no.
Nah, but they was turned up. They was giving niggas the business.
I'm telling them.
Okay. I'm going to check that out.
Business, bro. Like the glitzies you talking about? Yeah.
Right. How can I turn $500 into more? So many ways.
Yeah.
I need a dietary help, gentleman. I'm a big dude in the A. That's you, Blue. You in the A.
Yeah. You gotta holler at us. Come through. Come to Wadada. Start, you can start off there.
Right.
Liquefying your diet, getting you some CMOS, getting you some Seven Heaven, getting you some Gold Water products,
Right. Put your
you know,
email right in the chat.
and then we can dialogue, about you getting some level of, discipline to curtail whatever it is that is going against your physiology,
Right.
you know.
Axe Blue was good with these clouds. They looking real. I don't know what to call it.
You know, yeah, I'm under the impression that clouds are real. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with the other. I don't prescribe to them other channels to be talking about the sun ain't real and I don't, yeah.
Yeah.
But not only are the clouds real, but they are taking form these days. They are
Right.
back to when we was children, and the clouds used to look like things that were in our dreams or something we was talking about, and then you look up and you see a version of it in the clouds.
Facts.
Yeah, all of that is taking place. But really in places where they're not spraying. And I haven't really seen them spraying that much as of lately. I guess since they got the shot in, I don't know.
Right.
I mean, yeah, maybe we won't wake up early enough, but I would advise you to get outside of heavily populated cities, get into the country and look at those clouds. Look how different the sky is in places that are less populated. Look how different them clouds be. You feel me?
You might
Yeah,
say thought form.
your thought forms are not challenged by those aluminum layers that are blocking those thought forms from charging up the ionosphere. And we was talking about this the other day on live about being at high altitude on them planes, and you see the clouds, and then you see the bedding of clouds that are over the clouds. What are those? What
Right.
part of the atmosphere is that? You feel me? How do you see clear days if you got whole beds of clouds? Where is the sun? Is it underneath the clouds or over it? Oh, fireflies are thick out here. I don't know
Yeah,
if
they
they're in a
back. They back
relationship
with a
to, how you
vengeance.
say it, cicadas.
Cicadas.
Yeah, I don't know if they're related to cicadas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, but this is the thickest that I've seen. Last year was fireworks. This year is fireflies. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
you know what I'm saying?
That's a
Come on.
factory.
Yeah, whoever was the plug for fireworks, that nigga might be the first person to buy a ticket to space with Richard Branson, because yeah, they made a killing. Them niggas made Bitcoin money last year. Cause there
Oh
wasn't no more
man,
fireworks this year. Them niggas clean shop. Come on, B.
they was
Every day was
banking
July the 4th for the whole summer, even after July
whole
the
summer.
4th.
Right. They was killing that shit.
That shit came this
This
year and
year,
was like,
it was nothing.
nah, not compared to last
Nah.
year.
Somebody said
That
what's
shit
going on in the ocean.
is on fire. You know what I mean? But my whole thing is like, yeah, Fukushima. You know, they dump more of that stuff in Fukushima. Nobody talks about Fukushima. It's just like, how you gonna sweep something like that under the rug? I had seen this report on ABC News like 2 months ago, and I never got a chance to post it,
Right.
where they was talking about how off of the coast of California, I think Catalina Islands, how these companies in like 75 was dumping this radioactive material, and they went down with the cameras and showed the shit is leaking. I mean, it's all kind of stuff. Yo, they be dumping whole planes in the yo, son. Somebody
Yeah,
need
they
to
be
ask.
wilding.
Yeah, they be wilding, son. Like,
They
I
treat
don't,
that shit like a
I hope y'all don't expect me to sit up here and make excuses for these people. You know what's going on, right? They killing nature. Nature's fighting back.
right.
It was 130 degrees. Yo, it was 115 degrees in Portland, my G.
It was 130 degrees in Death Valley.
In
Or
Death
Death,
Valley. Yeah.
yeah, I was talking about Death Valley a few weeks ago, and then I
Yeah.
just
The
seen
the, the highest
a-
degree on the planet was four degrees short, 134. Of course, gotta come up to 44. But yeah,
yeah, it wasn't playing.
134 degrees is the hottest temperature that they've detected on the planet. I'm like, nigga, I done that in sweat lodges many times over. You feel me? But yeah,
Right.
imagine that. Your whole day is like third round, right? Third round, bring in the 20 grandfathers. You like, oh shit.
Right.
That shit to be so hot, your eyebrows be skin fringe, yeah.
You don't want your skin to touch each other, like no skin.
Yeah, no skin contact. You know what I mean? That shit to make you go to the earth because you got to get air from the earth. You can't breathe no more. Yeah, something. This planet is going through some changes.
Yeah,
Planet is
it
going through
is.
some changes. You feel me?
Definitely, definitely. So yeah, you was talking about something on your live earlier.
What's
You
that?
want to touch on that?
Yeah, I had a few lives today. So what you talking about?
The last one you did.
Oh, we talking about crystal currency?
Yeah.
I was speaking. I used the story of Haiti's $1 trillion, right, mountains,
Posits. Right.
mineral deposits to segue into speaking about iridium, right? Iridium is a mineral that I used to utilize in some of my components when I was making supercharged super power gold water. When I was actually bottling the water and putting the gold, the iridium, and the platinum in it.
Right.
It was like some Superman shit back in the days. So I had known about iridium for a minute. It was my secret sauce. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So they said that they found a whole mountain. Remember like 2 years ago when they was like, yo, we found $1 trillion mountain
Right.
in Haiti, just like they had found $1 trillion mountain in Afghanistan, right? When they hit it with the Moab, the mother of all bombs.
Right. When they hit they dropped the Moab.
Yeah, Nashawn Lee, holla at me. Like, let's not waste no time. Real talk. You could DM me. My IG is the same as my name here on Instagram, but you got to spell it all out. Don't go for none of my clones. If it's not this one right here, right, I'm not getting your DMs. Feel me? But yeah, they got $1 trillion mountains. They have a iridium deposit from a asteroid that hit 3.5 million years ago, I believe they said.
Damn.
Right? And then they're sitting on a pool of oil. They got mad gold in Haiti. What Haiti don't got?
Yeah, what they don't got.
That's the question. Right? So it's literally the land of riches. You feel me? That whole island. And I'm like, what, Haiti got it and Dominican DR don't? How did you manage that, God? Right? You really trying to start some shit, the Most High. Like, why would you do that?
Right.
So that's a beautiful island and it explains why them people be so different. Remember Haitian strength? Yo, shout out to Robinson, right? Nigga, I met Haitians
Right.
that, yo, they used to have the Haitians with the you know, remember Tony with the one punch KO?
Right. The
Remember
one
the
punch
niggas used to
knockout.
knock out the horses with one hit? Boop!
Right.
You asking, right? And they are into what? They're into provisions. Provision is food to come from the ground, right? So you be like, why are these people so strong in their
Right.
character and physically? Haitians have abnormal strength.
Right. They
Nigga,
had
I grew up
hard
in
heads
Flatbush.
too.
I'm trying to tell you. Bro, hold
Yeah.
on. Not to be disrespectful. Remember? Niggas that have to jump them.
Right. And then they get right up. Like, damn.
Nigga, remember? They don't even get knots on their head. The niggas that be
The,
having the Herman Monster, the vampire shit,
the Willow's Peak.
the Willow's Peak, and them niggas be having
Yo, watch a
you could
Haitian
you
with a
could
Willow's
you could
Peak is
peck them niggas
dangerous.
out and all that. They wasn't getting no lumps or none of that. Your hands would be hurting, and them niggas would
Yeah,
get
hands
right
be
back up.
hurting.
Come
So
on,
them niggas is
son.
mixed with Wolverine. We used to put
Them niggas
hands
had
and
Wolverine
feet.
DNA in it, son.
We rat pack them niggas. They be right back up like Jason Voorhees. Like this niggas mixed with Jason.
Now we know why, right?
Yeah, niggas was on that
Now we know
iridium.
why. They was
Eating
getting that
iridium pop.
iridium, and they was
Yeah,
getting other mineral riches from the food. Hence the fact that, and people was laughing at them when they be like, yo, they eat mud pies. Now I'm like,
hmm.
huh.
Yeah.
I'm
Pies
like,
might be
was
good
that,
for your
is it
health.
so funny? That mud was mineral rich.
Super mineral rich, like a sea moss.
92 minerals
Right.
out of your body's 105. Right? So I'm like, yo, iridium, you know, and then I segued that into the conversation that I have been attempting to have with the family about crystal currency and the fact that, you know, I started this conversation to bring to our attention, you feel me? To bring to our
Right.
attention the fact that crystals are the underlying currency behind all technology, not just physical technology, ancient technology. The planet, my nigga, the planet has a crystal at the core of it. The sun
Right.
is going to become a crystal when it finishes burning, and you have crystals in you. Your bones, your skeletal structure is crystals. Hence the fact that you can create piezoelectricity by jumping on your bones, right? Because it creates a
Right.
charge, right? So, you know, just introducing them to the fact that this is not just drip, this is functional technology. All of these stones have a use case, they have a purpose, they have a meaning. You feel me? And they
Right.
work with one another. This is ancient technology. This is ormus gold set in resin with acacia wood, right? This is making my aura expand every single day. It is amplifying, right, my reach.
Right.
So while people are experiencing a stall in the cryptocurrency market, and this is not to to shit on cryptocurrency. I'm just saying, cryptocurrency don't take no, you know what I mean? There's aspects of it, like the precious metals. Gold is gonna take a dip, silver's gonna take a dip, copper's gonna take a dip. But these gemstones is consistent, right? Right now, the market on diamonds is crazy. Right? The market on diamonds is crazy. Copper's going crazy. Right? They just turned around and said that they found an invisible form of gold in pyrite. Yo, I went to the store today and they had a piece of pyrite for this for $300, bro.
Damn.
3 weeks ago it was 20 something dollars. Now it's $300. Right? You think the Europeans are gonna miss an opportunity to exploit this? But again, if we had, and then I played a video from a dude, Ambassador, what's the brother's name? Michael, Vincent, Saint Michael,
Oh, what
right?
my God.
Yeah, you know they have a precious rare mineral coming out of Kenya, and he has the whole video. They're showing you the mine. They blew the mine up to get the minerals.
Oh, I saw
And
that.
yeah, the shit, it's like vibranium. He been telling me
Right.
about this for years, and I didn't pay full attention. Right? So they got access to this mine. They can bankroll, quote unquote, Black America with this rare mineral. It's like if you got the first drop on Tanzanite. Right? So I'm like, this entire currency is pretty much relegated to the continent of Africa and to Brazil.
Right.
So, you know, I was just introducing that and then I was showing them about the shortage, the chip shortage, and in the article that they're coming out saying that the US is going to make a move on Africa or China. They have to make it now, because if they miss the boat, they're going to get locked out of the race for quantum supremacy, because China is about to solidify its lock on the continent of Africa. And if they lock America out, America becomes a customer to them, and then they can't win the race. They can't win the race, the EV race, the electronic vehicle race. They're going to get shut out of that, and they're going to get
Right.
shut out of the race for space, right? The quantum supremacy race.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and then they need iridium for the spaceship. So the race for space is tied into iridium as well, right? Hence the fact that you're seeing all of the billionaires going to Mars, and then they're knocking off Haiti. And then I think that now they're going to use the COVID, you know, the shot and all of that. That's the scapegoat for this stuff now.
Right.
Right? Yeah, that's going to be the stuff that, you know, the conspirators is running with. Like, oh, look, we're going to make these connections. I'm like, yeah, Tanzania, that might have been goals, but they really want the minerals more than the people, right? Yes, we said that. It comes from an asteroid. Iridium comes from an asteroid. You know, I got some. You want some? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got some of
Now,
that
now,
iridium. Uncut.
now Cuba's
You can
turning
step
up.
on it. Huh?
Now Cuba's turning up.
South Africa's turning up. Cuba's turning up. You understand? They're going to turn up in Venezuela. They're going to turn up all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how you destabilize a region. But this is also how cosmic energy works, right? Shout out to the sister. Her name is Wise Royalty. You know, she posted on this new moon, this Cancerian new moon, and she always does her predictions. So
Right.
she was like, this is just an aspect of some of this energy that's hitting this planet. And yeah, the people that manipulate it or who stand to benefit from the fluctuation of these energies are always going to position themselves.
Right.
Yeah, we just always in the wrong place at the wrong time, late with the information. We are celebrated for being late. Hence the fact that niggas gave you a federal holiday for Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's you know, it's a lot going on as above, so below. You know,
Right.
we are in the dog days, right? This is the Jason months, right? This is the Corona rising. All of it is going down as promised. So yeah,
Right.
my book Convos with the Cosmos, that's coming August 11th.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah, August 11th.
And before
Got a month
that, on the
now.
29th and on the 22nd, we have Zoom lectures. We're going to have online webinars. And then maybe in August, we'll do a live lecture. But for the month of July, me and Blue is going to do a follow up to our Kentucky date that we did last month. We're going to be doing a Zoom that is going to be the evolution will be digitized along with emancipation and freedom to start the conversation. And then the next week, we'll be doing Fear of a BlackaMoor Messiah, the critical race from theory to fact. You know what I mean? And we're going to cover a plethora of topics that are on our radar right now. And we're going to be able to tie some things in. So you're going to get you some metaphysics. You're going to get some research and whatnot. And you're also going to get some perspectives that you may not have had on storylines and topics and narratives that are right now out there. So tap in. The links are in the description box below. Right there, you could go to Eventbrite and get your tickets. That's my commercial right there.
Yeah. Can I screen share? Is it
Yes, you.
possible? Hmm?
Yeah, it's possible.
All right. Let me see. See if I remember this.
Yeah, Richard Branson went to the edge of the earth.
So they
That
say.
video looked real fugusty, but you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, you like it, I love it. Whatever.
if you like it, I love it. Virgin Airline. I mean,
Yeah, you know.
that
Yeah,
shit
he
look
penetrated. Virgin Airline penetrates the outer rungs of space. I mean, how cute is
that
that?
part.
Richard Branson, Dick Branson. Yeah, I get it.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. You
Yeah,
know,
I didn't get the joke.
he penetrated the blackness. You know, because he be beating up on some of y'all favorite celebrities, right? He be getting the yoni or some of them, having them butt ass on his island. So, you know, he goes. You know, he taps into blackness. That's what he does. Where's the screen sharing?
Right there at the bottom.
Men don't see it.
You don't see the options next to Cam and slash Mike and the invite on the back office.
In the back office, I'm not in the back office.
Oh, okay. Well, let me see. See something. You don't have access to the studio?
Bro, I'm in the studio, right? I'm in the back studio, but I don't see what you're talking about.
It says share with a plus on it.
No, that's what it says on your screen.
Oh, so you don't got that?
I don't see that. No.
Oh, then I guess you can't share then. Guess you can't share. Maybe if you take a picture of what your back page looks like, I could navigate you through it. Hold on, let me go to share screen and see if I could uh, give you the rights. No, it doesn't say that. Yeah, take a screenshot and send it to my phone so I can see what you see. Yup. I might have to give him permission. Well, I'm seeing that right now. I thought he may have had permission.
Yeah, I sent it.
Okay, let me. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You on a laptop or a desktop?
Phone.
Oh, you're on a phone. Maybe if you did it from a laptop,
Yeah.
that might not be. Maybe on a phone, that's not the case.
Yeah, I ain't doing it from my laptop's not with me right this second, and
Oh man.
my footage is on the phone. So
Oh, you want me to go to one of your pages?
now we'll save it for the election.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. It's been a very it's been a good night. Everybody come together, but I'm sure that everybody has things to do. You
Right.
dig? This nigga gotta kill whatever bug is in his house. I'm
Now
there with you. Catch your body, man. You
I
know,
I I got the glizzy with the stizzy. I
with the
caught the
glizzy with the
first.
switch.
I got the glizzy with the switch. We caught the first one.
You know, the way we tag team.
Yeah, we tag teamed and we
Ah.
eradicated. We
Oh no,
eradicated.
you gotta completely corner them.
Yeah,
You
we
gotta
we
cover.
washed the op. They got a little
Yeah, you got
baby.
it.
They got a little baby still floating around. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
smaller, but
Exterminate all the brutes.
we exterminated the brute. Yeah.
Get rid of them all. Knock them all out. Somebody wants to know your website.
All right, which one? For the
Uh,
drip? For the
I don't
gems?
know. For the gems, I believe.
Yeah, cosmicdust.com. 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 Yeah, they could get the wands. They could get some crystals. They could get some drip.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, all that good stuff is over there. You feel me?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Real talk. Oh, and of course, goldwater.com. Yeah, we can't forget that.
Yeah, can't forget.
GoldWater. Goldwater.com.
Right, right, right. Yeah,
Feel
yeah.
me?
Redsummer.com. Go get your copies. You
And
know
when
what
that
I'm
video
saying?
coming out?
Yeah. Go get your
Yeah.
copies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go get your face rollers. Go get your merch. That part. Video is gonna drop soon. That part. Yeah. And like I said, somebody said they blocking your site. Which site?
Blocking my site or blocking my page. Yeah. Can you put the site
Yeah,
back
because I
up?
know they blocking our Instagram page, both of
Yeah.
ours. Can't tag us or anything.
Can you put my
Yeah.
site back up? Make sure you spelled it correctly. I ain't blocking that. COZMIK. Yeah, that's good. They ain't blocking Goldwater. None of them up. But yeah, on Instagram, shadow ban is in full effect. You know,
Yeah, it's definitely there.
they
I can't go live. I can't do nothing.
damn son.
They done blocked my live for about a month and change already on a on a Grammy. But yeah, it is all good. Family, we will be back for Third Eye Thursdays. Thank you all for pulling up and chopping it up with us. We don't want to keep y'all all night. We do have more information that we will be sharing on Thursdays. Yeah, it's been fun. Okay. I appreciate everybody's energy, all everyone's attention, all of the support, all of the love. Anything you want to leave them with, Blue?
Um, they said tomorrow as a tribute for Hank Aaron, they're doing the whole All-Star game with 44 jerseys. So that's gonna be a highlight. Expect some real heavy 44 energy to come through the mall. Yeah, you know, keep your eyes on the prize. You feel me? Yeah. Just it's gonna be an intense cycle these next 5 days, 7 days. I just feel it. You know what I mean? So stay very aware, stay very focused. You know, keep all your eyes open, and know that emotions are at an all-time high right now. So avoid conflict. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a lot of beefing going on everywhere I turn. It's conflict everywhere.
Battle royales, yo.
This
Don't
shit is
do
the
it.
battle royale in these streets and on these internets.
Internet.
So you know, don't get caught. What is it? Is it Neptune in retrograde? What's in retrograde? Something dealing with communication, because it's a lot of
Allegedly just came out of retrograde, but yeah, there's
yeah. We
something.
went into another one.
There's an
Jefferson,
aspect.
what
Yeah,
up?
something else is going on. So
Shout out to Jefferson.
yeah,
Yeah,
shout
something
out to
else going
Jefferson.
on. Avoid the
Yeah,
BS.
stay
Avoid the
low and keep firing.
stay low and keep firing. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah, you might end up in the blender.
yeah, don't get in the blender.
Don't
All
get
right?
slushed.
Don't get slushed in these
Feel me?
streets. I'm gonna leave it with 10 Summers or the intro, Dear Summer. Which one?
You said 27 summers?
Nah, I've been getting for 27 summers, but 10 Summers or the Dear Summer.
Yeah, there's something. Yeah. But if the audio is off, don't do that. Don't do that to us.
You tell me. I got it on Bluetooth. I'm gonna see how this rides
All
out.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, family. Salute to y'all. Oh wait, you mean 27 summers for Nas? Oh, I just caught that. This nigga tryna... Nah, we not. Don't do that. That shit knocks.
Okay.
Now that's that.
Red Summer,
Right, y'all.
Red Pillar,
Now stay up, man.
Scorpion
Stay
King.
focused. Love and light.
Let's get it. Dear Dear Summer, Summer, to the south. Mr. November, the deer hunter. It's the one and only.
That's right.
Who turn the copper when the sun is on me? Mister. Never got a number, and the number phony. Mister. Was off the market, hot girls spent their summers lonely. I'm calling out devils by their name like Michael Jackson in front of Sony. With little Uzis and cannons and drama, I'm another Coney. Shooters get the bone bracelets, the little brothers bony. Just like my mama told me, tenderonis trying to give a son to Yoni. T-O-N-Y, I'm looking like another Tony. Fighting the urges, the night of the purges. At the height of inertia, they grew at the height of the servers. When the red lights ignited in Persia, fervor. At the sight of the mergers, the spirits performing, they lyrics is pouring. I'm hearing the foreigns. They say that they woke, but I'm hearing them snoring. We want the woke, like Charlemagne the God, envy and ye. We want all the smoke. We descendants of Indian chiefs. We loyal to a fault. In these streets with ease on my feet. They see the God and they envy me. And all the royals in the court. There's some NBCs and loyal to the court. Started salting and killing, altering feelings, altered beasts and alternate buildings. All for the love of drug dealing. Had us toiling and tilling in the soil and the salt. Had us drilling by the millions so they could burn all the oil from the vault. Now the earth is shaking and we sitting here boiling the fault. They know that I'm greedy and gluttonous. Dashiki is buttonless. The way to go, made to go. Rocket in the pocket like Jada Flow. Snowman niggas said that they made us snow. See them in the freezer off at Trader Joe. The traders know. They put us in the dirt, yeah, they made haters grow. Like Mr. Potato Nose, Operation Red Nose. Yeah, they made us glow. The haters know who killed Malcolm X. Yeah, the traitors know. Yeah, the traitors know. You are now witnessing the ruthlessness of an Afro-futurist. Scorpion King from Pluto where future is. People Bill Bixby and Lutherig. The rings are sagged on the fingers of some ruthless kids. Took them a ranger like chicken fingers on the ruthless shit. Doors lift like the wings of dragons on the ruthless whips. Groups and shit. Autonomously move through strips. No hands like the brains on the toothless chick. Fly it in the planes, the shipwreck. Lucas bricks. It is through like lubricant. Putrement, heat putrefying like 2%. This is Jesus Christ superstar. No nutriment. We want all the smoke in the hookah set. And all of the accoutrements. Got the location, the Uber
To this day, to this day, to this day, to this day.